Alright guys, let's talk about the scariest day of my career. So, as y'all seen, I had a overheat issue. It's been going on a couple days. I went to a TA yesterday and they did a pressure test on the system, said you don't have a cracked, you don't have a bad head gasket, or there's nothing wrong. He said there's a, your overflow cap was cross-threaded. I called BS right out the gate. And now luckily, I have a good group of guys that walked me through this. Because I'm telling you right now, if I experience this alone, that I don't know. This ain't no freaking joke. So, everything was good, they said. This was last night. So I got up this morning and I made it 15 miles, overheating again. Now, it's not overheat, it is overheating. But what I found out, that first video is from the first thing this morning. I smelled coolant before it got hot. So I pulled right over, popped my hood, and I realized what's happening is there's pressure building up in the coolant system and it's blowing out the overflow. And that's what's causing me to lose my coolant, which in turn is putting me up to 250, 260 degrees because I'm running out of coolant. So I looked at it, I did what I had to do, put more coolant in it. Then I went to a shop. Well, it overheated twice. So I found the shop. I went to a shop. They said, no, we don't do that kind of work. Call this guy. I called this guy. They said, no, call my aunt. So I called his aunt. I went to their shop. Now this is where it gets rough and pretty bad. So as y'all seen in the video, you've seen them draining the coolant, and then you've seen my reaction to what I was told. Alright guys, so we're down here in El Paso, Texas, down near El Paso. We're at FT Gomez diesel, and I came in with an overheating issue, and told me I have a blown head gasket. So I came in, they did a coolant flush, filled it back up, took my thermostat out, cleaned a couple sensors, and then sent me on me and a guy took a test drive up the road. I got 2 miles and my truck overheated up to 240 degrees. Now, my truck's been overheating, but it never overheats that fast. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know where I'm at with it. I don't know if I'm gonna put $15,000 into this truck, because that's what it's gonna take. I can idle and it's fine, but not fine, but you know what I mean. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna give up trucking. The whole owner-operator thing, it's just, I love it, I do. But, when does it end? I keep moving. Every time a truck breaks or, gets destroyed, I buy another truck. And I'm never getting my return on investment on these trucks. $15,000 is a lot of money. So I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm thinking over, make some phone calls, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, let's talk about the scariest day of my career. So, as y'all seen, I had a overheat issue. It's been going on a couple days. I went to a TA yesterday and they did a pressure test on the system, said you don't have a cracked, you don't have a bad head gasket, or there's nothing wrong. He said there's a your your overflow cap was cross-threaded. I called BS right out the gate. And now luckily, I have a good group of guys that walked me through this. Because I'm telling you right now, if I experience this alone, that I don't know. This ain't no freaking joke. So, everything was good, they said. This was last night. So I got up this morning and I made it 15 miles. Overheating again. Now, it's not overheat. It is overheating. But what I found out, that first video is from the first thing this morning. I smelled coolant before it got hot. So I pulled right over, popped my hood, and I realized what's happening is there's pressure building up in the coolant system, and it's blowing out the overflow, and that's what's causing me to lose my coolant, which in turn is putting me up to 250, 260 degrees because I'm running out of coolant. So I looked at it, I did what I had to do, put more coolant in it. Then I went to a shop. Well, it overheated twice. So I found the shop. I went to a shop. They said, no, we don't do that kind of work. Call this guy. I called this guy. They said, no, call my aunt. So I called his aunt. I went to their shop. Now this is where it gets rough and pretty bad. So y'all seen in the video, you've seen them draining the coolant, and then you've seen my reaction to what I was told. Well, as soon as I did that video, I was on the phone with Hotshot Haven. Big thanks to Hotshot Haven, Cook's Garage, Michael from New York. There's a whole group of you. Big shout out to all you guys for, talking me through and keeping me cool. And I got off the phone with Haven and I got out of my truck and I heard a whistling. Now, a whistling only happens for one reason. Now, I did not drive or pressurize this truck. Whistling is when you have a lot of pressure. Well, I said I shouldn't have pressure because I'm not working the motor. I didn't work anything. So I shut the truck down. I released the overflow. I should have recorded this, but my mind was elsewhere. So I released the overflow. This thing blew off for 5 minutes. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me go back a minute. So they drained the coolant out. They took my thermostat out, cleaned some sensors, put water back in it. They sent me on a test drive to go up Trans Mountain with one of their guys. We made it 2.5 miles. I didn't even make it to the mountain, and my truck got up to 240 degrees. And now this is a red flag for me because I was bobtail, never got to this. So I went back, parked, and then they said, oh, it's a bad valve, head gasket, and then you see my reaction to that. I ready to give up trucking. I've been through too many trucks, too many problems. I love trucking. I enjoy what I do. So I was on the phone with Hotshot Haven, and I got off the phone with him for something, and I got out of the truck and I heard a whistling. Well, I know when it whistles, that means there's overflow coming out and build up pressure. But the problem, what sparked my interest was there's no coolant coming out. There's just pressure. Well, you can't release pressure without coolant if it's full of coolant. So I shut the truck off, released everything, and when I released, there was so much pressure built up in there, so much pressure. And it blew off for about 5 minutes. And I popped the cap. Now remember, these guys just filled my truck with water. There was no water, there was no coolant, there was nothing in my tank. I put 5 gallons of coolant in my truck that this shop had taken out of my truck because they did a full flush and put clean coolant / water. And the coolant was nasty looking and goaky. But they didn't fill it all the way up. As soon as I filled that up, my truck, it was like a night and day, totally different truck. It went down to about 160 degrees. I have never seen that truck at 160 to 170 degrees since I bought it. Normal operating temp for 6 months on that truck, 5 months, is 190. So when I seen that, I watched it, I listened, and I said, you know what? Something's different. So let me show you. This is the truck. I'm loaded 77,000 pounds. I took this truck, this trailer, and I made a decision. I'm either gonna blow it up or I'm gonna find out if it's fixed. I took this truck up an 8% grade up Trans Mountain off of I-10 and 357. This truck climbed that mountain with ease. Did not break 210 degrees. And my normal operating temp is 190 to 200. I climbed this mountain at 35 to 40 mile an hour, which is a good climb on a mountain like that. Guys, the problem with the truck was a damn $100 thermostat. This shop was getting ready to hit me for a $15,000 overhaul. $15,000 overhaul. You've got to know what you're doing out here. At least a little bit. You have to know basic mechanics. If you don't know basic mechanics, you will get hosed. Do I think they did it on purpose? I don't know. And I've actually noticed that since they took the thermostat out, I have a thermostat, it's leaking a little bit over here. But as you can see, there's no coolant or nothing. But there is a little leak coming out of the thermostat right there. So, but I'm not worried about it. I'll fix that when I get home. Just keep an eye on my coolant. So guys, DTA is real. Don't trust anybody. I'm not saying they're not professionals. I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing. Get a second opinion. If something don't sound right, don't make sense, just question everything. And now, after that, I'm coming down the road. I stopped to get fuel, right? And I see this. This is my trailer tire. So, you know, universe says, oh, your truck's good? Hold my beer, watch this. Now you need a trailer tire. These are special trailer tires, 255 70R 22.5s. $408 for that tire right there. Now, I'm happy to pay for that tire rather than pay for that motor. But guys, this shit was scary. This shit, you don't know what it's like to work your butt off, have everything ripped out of your hand like that. And now the problem is, who do I trust in the future? Who do I trust? You know? So guys, luckily that wasn't the problem. As of right now, the problem is fixed. There's no thermostat in the truck, which is okay. I'm gonna take it home. I'm gonna put a thermostat in it. And another red flag to me was they told me that when they took the thermostat out and looked at it, it's okay. Well, let me tell you, you can't look at a thermostat and know if it's opened or closed. You can't tell. I don't care how good you are. You need to put that in water and boil it. And no, I did not know that coming into the day. That's why you need people in your corner. That's why you need help. So guys, I'm telling you right now, your best interest, build a relationship. Build a group of guys, group of women, group of whoever. You need people to call on. You need people to bounce it off of. I've been doing this 5 years. I've only been in these trucks a year and a half. I don't know it all. Nobody I know knows it all. But I got about 6 guys in together. We know just about enough. So, that was the day today. I didn't go far. I didn't get much done. But, telling you guys, you got to have a team. You can't do this alone. You will not know everything. So, if you don't have people, start getting to know people. Learn your mechanics. Learn the basics, just the bare basics. The bare basics. And I'm going to tell you, with this experience, I didn't know enough about this cooling system. So, guys, knock on wood, the truck should be okay for now. We're down here in El Paso. We're going to be late. We're 2 days behind now. We got to get to Delaware, Pennsylvania by Monday, but it'll now be Tuesday. So, this is a thermostat that came out of this truck. You look at this thing. You don't know how the hell this works. You don't know if this is working or not. So, how it works is something with the metals, and when it gets to a certain heat, it opens, but from the inside. You cannot look at this and tell if it's good or bad. You need to put this in water, right? Put it in a bowl, bucket, whatever, and then you boil the water. When you boil the water, this here will open. Now, if you see, I'm guessing that would be closed. You know, I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, it just, you can't look at this and tell. The fact that anybody would tell me that discredits their whole operation. I'm up in the air on giving the name. Yeah, I'm probably going to do it. I took it to FT Gomez in Texas, right just north of El Paso. It was FT Gomez truck and trailer repair, or truck and diesel repair. That's where all this stuff happened today, guys. Still a little shook up from it, but let me show you something. I just checked the old girl. She's lost no coolant. Music to my ears. Now, let me show you. This is not normal for this truck. You're gonna say, well, Hotshot, it's warm. I don't care what it is. If I put that thermostat, this thing's gonna go straight up to 190. Because I'm guessing, because it's closed, it thinks it's 190 all the time. I'm not sure why, but that's what this truck does. So we ran, we never crossed over 200 today, about 80 miles, so we're pretty happy. All right, guys, we out. All right, guys, so after the $14,900 misdiagnosis, Yellow Jacket's clean, she's running, she's fine. I will tell you guys, that was the scariest time of my life. And just think, I could have been moments away from either stroking a $15,000 check or being out of business due to a misdiagnosis. So when you guys think you don't need to be versed in mechanics, you better think again. And the way I found this was I double checked the guys. After they took the thermostat and all that out, I double checked how much coolant was in this truck. 5 gallons short. Of course I overheated, 5 gallons short. So now I've been running it ever since with no problem. Depending on no man. Just use their, take their advice. Don't do what they say. Keep this as a learning lesson. do us all a favor. Please, please, please share this video. Share it out. Let everybody know how easy it is to get hosed. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Oh, yeah. Hit that ding, ding. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.